Welcome back to Leaders Whiteboard Session 7. In the last session, we talked about running effective meetings as a manager or even as a team member, which I hope will be of practical use to you. Today, we will talk about delegation. There are many different levels of management, leadership or management. So I divide the management level at corporate level in three major areas. One is the frontline management or line level management, another is mid-level management, and another is the executive level leadership. These three. So let's assume you are a line level manager. You have been recently promoted to an engineering manager, maybe in last couple of years. You manage one or two teams. You are responsible for day-to-day execution, but you can't be an individual contributor like earlier anymore. Maybe a little bit you contribute at a coding level or day-to-day task level, but your main job is to get work done by others. That means you'll have to delegate a lot. So today we'll talk about the delegation. Delegation is a critical skill for effective leadership. By understanding different levels of delegation, leaders can better match the amount of authority they give with the task and the person they are entrusting. There are 5 levels of delegation that we will discuss today. Understanding and effectively using these levels of delegation allows us to tailor our involvement based on the task, the person, and the context, optimizing for efficiency, empowerment, and development of our team members. What are those 5 levels? So let's have a quick look into it. You will see it's from level 1 to 5. And if you look at the upward going arrow trust, you will see the trust goes higher as you go up in the level of delegation from 1 to 5. Level 1 is execute, do exactly what I have told you. Level 2, which means that has the lowest amount of trust. The next level, a little bit more trust, is research the topic and report back. We'll go more into detail on this today. The next level is make a recommendation. And then very high level of delegation is decide with reporting back. And at the top is decide without reporting back. So I'll put these in a little bit different way. Let's go one by one. Level 1. So this is the lowest amount of trust, and there is nothing wrong with that. It's just simply there are situations or context when it is applicable. We'll talk about it, but it is do as I say. So as a manager or as a leader, you are delegating a task to someone else or a project or whatever, and you are telling exactly that you should do it this way or that way. That's the main idea. This means to do exactly what I have asked you to do. Don't deviate from my instructions. I have already researched the options and determined what I want you to do. That's level 1. This level is also known as direct tasking. Instead of doing the task yourself, you are just delegating the task to someone else to do. Direct tasking. At this level, the leader provides specific instructions on what needs to be done and how it should be accomplished. There's little to no room for interpretation or deviation. This type of delegation is best for situations that require precision, or let's say you have inexperienced team members in your team, or tasks that have a known and specific method that must be followed. There is not much room for creativity and so on. That's why it is level 1. Do as I say. Let's go to the next level. Level 2 is research and report. This means to research the topic, gather information, and report what you discover. We will discuss it. Then I will make the decision and tell you what I want you to do. That is a little bit more freedom than level 1, like research and tell me what are the options we have. The delegate is asked to gather information and provide a set of options. However, the decision-making authority still rests with the leader, that is you as an engineering manager. This is best for situations where the leader wants to be involved in the final decision, but needs more information before deciding, or wants to involve the delegate in the thought process. This is why, like, instead of the leader doing it themselves, they cannot do, probably because they don't have all the information, or they don't have enough time to collect all the information, or although they can make the decision, they're actually coaching the delegate. Why don't you do the research and tell me what you think? End of the day, I'm going to make the call. So this is good for maybe mentoring or coaching. This is also good for new leaders or managers to learn delegation more effectively. So this is the type of delegation. The level one delegation is at a very elementary or basic level, but this is where you start being effective more from level 2, research and report. So this is something I assume every once in a while we leaders or managers have to adopt. Even not managers, other team members may also delegate tasks to others, right? The next is level 3, research and recommend. This means to research the topic, outline the options, and bring your best recommendation. Give me the pros and cons of each option, then tell me what you think we should do. If I agree with your decision, I will authorize you to move forward. At this level, the delegate is supposed to provide options and influence the leader by making a particular recommendation as to what is the best decision. However, the leader still will need to give a thumbs up before the delegate executes the recommendation. This is best for building trust with experienced team members or when rapid decisions are needed, but the leader still wants to validate the decisions. This is a very good amount of autonomy or empowerment. Like, you want to delegate tasks to some senior team member and let them do the research and make a recommendation. This is how we should do. The delegate's task is to influence the leader. All the delegate is looking for is a go-ahead approval. Without approval, still the delegate cannot execute it. But it's the level of involvement from the leader is very less here. They are supposed to only course correct if at a high level they see some risk. They'll try to stop or reconsider, but in general, otherwise, they will probably ask 1 or 2 questions. Have you thought of this and that? Yes, then they will give the thumbs up. So this is a very good relationship between the leader and the delegate. So I believe this is a good level of target when, as a manager, you want to empower your team, you can actually try to get to level 3. This is good for you as a leader and for the team. This way you can multiply yourself and the team can grow themselves. Level 4 is decide and inform. This means to make a decision and then tell me what you did. I trust you to do the research, make the best decision you can, and then keep me in the loop. I don't want to be surprised by someone else. The delegate is given the responsibility to handle a situation or task entirely, and there is no need to seek permission or validate the decision with the leader. Just keeping the leader as FYI is sufficient. That too is mainly to avoid the surprise factor, so that someone else don't go to the leader and say, oh, do you know your team has does this, that's good, and the leader is a little bit unprepared or embarrassed or surprised. Just to have the leader FYI so that they are not surprised is good enough, but everything is on the delegate or the team. This is best for routine tasks, situations where the delegate has proven expertise or when complete trust exists between the leader and the delegate. This is a very high level of delegation. And as leaders or engineering managers, we all want to thrive to that level. It's like we will be successful when we can grow our team or our direct reports or people to whom we can just say decide and inform. Go ahead, this is the task, go ahead, figure out how you want to do it. Just let me know that you have been able to do it or not. It's a very high level of delegation and very good sign of a high-performing team or a high-performing individual contributor. Level 5, act independently. This means to make whatever decision you think is best. No need to report back. I trust you completely. I know you will follow through. You have my full support. This is also known as full delegation. The delegate is given full responsibility for an area, including making decisions, setting strategy, and managing outcomes. The leader steps back entirely, intervening only if requested or if something goes drastically off course. This is best for delegating entire projects or roles, empowering senior team members, or building new leaders. This is the highest level of delegation, and this is not very common, at least at a line level management or even at a mid-level management, because you don't want the teams to act independently and completely go wrong and waste company resources. And you want to keep a check. There is a saying in our leadership called trust but verify. This act independently is like trust and don't verify. That's not the case. This happens, this level of such a high level of delegation, full delegation happens at a higher level of leadership or management. Let's say CEOs, C-level executives. Let's say in a startup, the board of directors are giving the CEO level 5 delegation kind of thing. Act independently. You are the face person. We completely trust you that you'll be taking the company from point A to point B. Even that is often not the case. Or let's say the CEO is delegating to the CTO the entire responsibility of technology management, to the CFO the entire responsibility of finance management, and the CEO says, I have full trust with you, let me know if you need any support, but act independently. You don't have to report back to me what you are going to do, how you are going to do, and so on. Act independently is a little bit debated, and I have seen when I discussed with my team or other leaders, they said is that it's not a good idea. Of course, there are situations when this is applicable. For example, you are building a new leader, so you don't want to micromanage or just check every sprint or every week what they are doing. You want them to grow at a level and you watch from far. That's when you give tasks to them to act independently and see if they have been able to finish those or drive those projects in a certain direction or not. You evaluate at a later interval time rather than day to day or a week to week or continuous basis. So this is also a level of delegation, but I assume the majority of you will not be delegating at least at your level, act independently at level 5 level. So this is just a quick summary of the 5 levels. Do as I say, research and report, research and recommend, decide and inform, act independently. These 5 levels. I have seen one of the things the new managers, they struggle most with is delegation. So why? Because, they are habituated doing things themselves. Because let's say you are a coder, a programmer, a very good software engineer, you are a team lead, you have been technically managing projects, coding, doing system design, and then you got promoted to engineering manager. Because you are pretty good at it, often you'll have hard time delegating that system design to another engineer because you think you can do better. Or that coding, you feel like, let me jump in and write that code. It's a very complicated one, instead of giving it to someone else. But that's where your growth and maturity will come as a leader and an engineering manager. And some of the things you have to learn is how to delegate. Otherwise, you'll make yourself a bottleneck. Your job is no more to do the deep level execution. Your job is to get things done by others. You coach others, grow others, multiply them. This is how you can multiply yourself. Is like, instead of one you, there will be many you if you can coach others how to do those things instead of doing the thing yourself. There is a good saying is that, don't catch the fish for me, teach me how to catch the fish, because this way I can learn a lifelong have a lifelong living instead of every day asking you to catch the fish for me or have my food for me every day, right? So this delegation is same like that. You have to learn as you grow in your leadership and engineering management. The higher you go, you'll have to be more comfortable with higher level of delegation in your career. So I hope this gives you some food for thought. I would like to know, what do you do as an engineering manager? Do you do a lot of work yourself? Do you go for level 1 or 2 delegation, or do you often go for level 3 or 4 delegation in your company? And do any of you actually go up to level 5 delegation or not? So this will be very interesting for me and for our audience. So please add your comments in this YouTube in this YouTube videos comment section, as well as like and subscribe to this channel, so that when I come up with new videos, you get automatically notified. So thank you so much, and I see you next. Take care.